Hey guys, it's Jeff here with Sanchez Real Estate Services powered by eXp Realty, and it's early December 2020, and we can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel as far as at least being through the year 2020, which I think we can all agree has been a pretty crazy year. So I thought it'd be a pretty good time to give you all a little bit of a market update to see, what kind of effect that's had. Everything that we've experienced throughout 2020, what kind of an effect has it had overall on the real estate market? Before I get too far into that, and it's just going to be kind of a short update on the market and some things that, some statistics that I think were important or very interesting to me is there's a lot of people that are out there making prediction of what's going to happen in 2021. I mean, I'm seeing that all over different social media platforms, people predicting doom and gloom and all kinds of crazy stuff. And what I'd like to say about that is, like, nobody knows, right? And anybody that comes on social media or anywhere else, television or whatever it may be, that wants to try to predict the future, they don't know what they're talking about, right? It's like pretty irresponsible. I mean, no one was able to predict what happened during 2020. No one saw that coming, and we don't know what the future is going to bring. It's just like when an appraiser goes out and appraises a property, it's for that day and for that day only, the day that he signs it and puts the date on it, right? So we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We can kind of take a look at the past and then take a look at some of the other things that are going on in the marketplace to give you kind of an idea of what to expect. But as far as predicting the future, no one knows. And like I said, in 2020, no one predicted what was going to happen, right? So we started out in the beginning of the year in the spring, January, February, March, the beginning of March. It was a normal market. Everybody was ramping up their marketing efforts in the real estate industry. And we were starting to see an increase in inventory and business starting to pick up, which is pretty normal. I mean, the real estate business is a seasonal business, so coming out of the winter, coming into the spring, we start to get busy. And then all of a sudden in March, the COVID hit, and the bottom fell out. I mean, it went from a normal, active, and growing market to it just bottomed out, and really there was very little activity. There was still escrows or deals that were getting closed, and a few new listings that were hitting the market, but basically the market came to a screeching halt. And then as we go into March, April, May, so in the latter part of May, the market started to pick up, and it continued to do so all the way up until where we're at right now. And as my friend Ryan Lundquist, Sacramento Appraisals likes to say, is that we're experiencing a spring market in the fall. Because here we are, we're in December, typically this time of year things start to slow down, and sales are starting to slow down right now. But so a couple of months ago we gave you a market update and told you that from August of this year to August of last year, we'd seen a 10% increase in prices in the Sacramento region across the board. Some neighborhoods less, some neighborhoods more. It depends on what county you're in and so forth. But overall 10% growth in appreciation or sales prices. So where are we at now? So as of October of this year to October of last year, just 2 months later, we see a 14% increase in the sales price, the average sale price across the board. Again, it's going to vary depending on what neighborhood you're in, but 14%. I mean, that's phenomenal, right? And what are the contributing factors of that? The same two things that are in effect: historically low inventory and historically low interest rates. So moving forward, what does all of this mean? I mean, we don't really know, and I'm not trying to predict the future. The two most important factors in my mind are the people get back to work, and number two, that interest rates stay about the same. They don't have to stay where they're at right now, which they're sub 3%. And there's some that are 2.5. I mean, it just depends, right, on what kind of loan it is and points and all this other stuff. But historically low interest rates. So those two things, we get people back to work and the interest rates stay the same, we still have a supply and demand problem. There's way more buyers than there is inventory. I don't see any reason why that trend will not continue. Again, I'm not trying to predict the future here, but let's take a look at just some things that I thought were interesting. People talk about, you hear stories about multiple offers and people getting outbid and all these crazy amounts of offers on these properties. That's true in 48% of the homes that went into escrow or that closed escrow in October. 48% of them were multiple offers. Not everything is getting bid up. In fact, we also had 32% of the homes that had price reductions, and 40% of the homes sold at or below list price. So although almost half the properties are getting bid up, the other half are selling at or below the list price. So there's a lot of statistical data out there that we can look at and analyze and overanalyze. I mean, the bottom line is the Sacramento region is still a great place to, whether you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And so if you have any specific questions about any of this information, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. And remember, I'm here to help you in any way that I can. So in the meantime, stay safe, God bless, and I look forward to talking to all of you really, really, really soon.